everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Autumn here today to do my week 3 of July weekly wrap up. I read a total of 8 books this week. So the first two I started last week. I just finished. So the first one is Perfect Embrace by Kaylee Ryan. I gave this 4 out of 5 stars. This is book 8 in the Mason Creek series, which is all by different authors. They're all on Kindle Unlimited. This is the only one I've read by this in this series. This follows Lakin and Grayson. This is a second chance romance. They were high school sweethearts, and then something happened, and Lakin moves back to Mason Creek, and I did this for Bookopoly for most recent purchase. This came out on the 15th, and as I said, I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. Then I read Destined for Doon, which is book 2 in the Doon series by Carey and Lorie Langdon. I gave this 3.5 out of 5 stars. This follows Veronica and Jamie and McKenna and Declan. This one follows more McKenna and Declan than Veronica and Jamie. But this essentially follows two best friends, Veronica and McKenna, and they go to Scotland, and in Scotland they find a secret world, Doon, and they're trying to save it. I used this for Bookopoly Fairy Tale Corner, and yeah, 3.5 out of 5 stars. Then I read the Brazen, I never can say this, I'm sorry, by Willa Nash. This is the third book in the no, I can't even say that either. Montana. Usually I can say that, but I can't today. I'm so sorry. I'm not even gonna try again. Series by Willa Nash, aka Dumping Perry. This I gave 4 out of 5 stars. This is a alpha book. This came out on the 15th. Also, I listened to this on audio. For my TBR game, this was for new release. For Bookopoly, this was audio or ebook. And I gave this 4 out of 5 stars. This follows Kerrigan and Price. And Kerrigan worked with Price's grandfather, and he suddenly dies, and Price is taken over, and they get stranded in a cabin together, and it's their story. 4 out of 5 stars. And then the last Kindle book I read was The Dare by Elle Kennedy. I gave this 4 out of 5 stars. I used this for Bookopoly for Fake Dating Drive, which is to read a romance containing fake dating. This is book 4 in the Briar You series. This is my favorite book in this series. This follows Taylor and Connor, and they meet and decide to fake date. And Connor is helping Taylor overcome her, because Taylor is a plus size girl and she doesn't feel confident, and he's helping her. There are some sexual assault things that happen in here, so just be aware. But I really enjoyed it. 4 out of 5 stars. Listen to this on audio, and yeah, my favorite in the series. And then the remainder 4 I read on physically. So the first one is Tempt by Cambria Hebert. This is book 3 in the Take It Off series. This was a reread. Excuse me. This follows Ava and Nash. And Ava is going to Costa Rica, if I remember, to spread her grandmother's ashes. And there is a private jet taking her, and Nash is the pilot. On their way to Costa Rica, they're entered a bad storm and they crash onto an island, and then they are trapped on an island together, and it's their story. I gave this 4 out of 5 stars. So yes. And then I read Text by Cambria Hebert, which is the 4th book in the Take It Off series. This is a reread. I gave this 5 out of 5 stars. This follows Honor and Nathan. Honor is jogging through the park like she normally does, and when she was doing that, she was kidnapped by a guy and thrown into a hole. But before she was thrown into the hole, she was able to take his cell phone, and she texts someone, and that someone's Nathan, and saying that she was kidnapped, and Nathan is a Marine, right? Yeah. And he helps Honor. I really enjoyed rereading this. This is probably one of my favorite books in the series, and I really like it. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars, and yeah, and for my TBR game, this was for standalone. Then I read Release by Aly Martinez, and for Bookopoly, this was for Review Jail, and for TBR game, this was Bookworm Box. So I do have my review coming, my vlog coming for this book, so I won't go into too much detail, but I gave this 4 out of 5 stars. I listened to this on audio, and this follows Thea and Ramsey, and this also deals with sexual assault, abuse. So just be aware of that going into it. I listened to this. Did I say I already listened to this on audio? And this is book 1 in the Release series. As I said, this follows Thea and Ramsey. They meet when Ramsey is in a treehouse and Thea sees him. And both of them on that day are running, like grieving for the loss of their mothers. Ramsey's mother decided to leave, but Thea's mother died. So they're both grieving the loss of their mom. And they form a friendship. And then I think on Ramsey's 18th birthday, he actually is accused of murder. And he is sent to jail. And then it's like 18 years later, if I remember correctly, that he comes back and he doesn't want to see Thea. But it's their story. As I said, this does have sexual assault and abuse, so just be aware. I gave this 4 out of 5 stars. And then finally, my favorite book, well, Text was really good too, but I read Bared Souls by Ellie Wade. This was for Bookopoly for Cover By, and this is book 1 in the Beautiful Souls collection, and I listened to this on audio. Oh god, this story killed me. This follows Alma and Leo, and this is a new adult book that follows Alma, who is a freshman at college, and one day she meets Leo, who is not a very nice guy, and they form a friendship, but Leo's trying to protect Alma. He tries to walk away from her quite a few times in this book, saying he's not the right guy for her, and This does deal with addiction, so just be aware, and abuse, um, sexual assault, um, sexual abuse. So just be aware there are heavy topics in this, but I gave this 5 out of 5 stars. I loved this book, and I'm excited to read the second book in this one. Um, so, yes, but really, really good. And those are all of the 8 books I read. I am currently reading Infini by Krista and Becca Ritchie, but I'm only like chapter 6, not that far into it. Yeah, chapter 6, which is 66 pages, so not that far. So I am reading this too. But those are all the books I read. And yeah, what are some books you read this week? And if you read any of these, what did you think of them? And I'll see everyone later. Bye.